Okay, I'm on, and all of you are as well. Thank you for being here this morning. I appreciate your kindness and your thoughtfulness for showing up for an hour or so of attention to our beloved small community here. It's been a long time, hasn't it? All of us together, and some of you longer than I. You were already there when I showed up, so that was a long time ago, and it's so good to see you. I wanted to continue on with this idea of healing today. I remember that in meditation, when I first became a young minister, in my first church that I came to, which was the church in Nashville, Tennessee, came there as an associate minister, which meant I was hired and fired by the senior minister and spoke directly to him. And he gave me things to do, and I tried my best to do them. And it was a wonderful learning lesson session while I was there. I want to talk a little bit about what happened during that time. One of the first things that happened was that he sat me down and he said, I want you to know something from the get-go that it took me a while to learn, because I didn't have anybody tell me this. I learned it on my own, and I'm going to tell you. This is a place of healing, and the people that show up here are sick, and they will show up here to desire healing, to desire wellness and oneness in their lives, and this recognition. And from time to time, when they're not feeling this, it'll be your fault. Not really, but that's the way they will view it, that you aren't supplying to them what they need because they think it's all happening in the outer. And so they will attack you, or they will blame you, or they will act out in some way that is less than full wholeness. When that happens, don't take it personally. It's their story. And this was before there was a 4 agreements or anything like that. He said, just don't take it personally. It's not about you, it's about them. And so I said, thank you very much for that, Jimmy. And I kept that in mind and have continued to keep it in mind for all these many years, these many years since 1996. And as a result, one day in meditation, I was actually feeling pretty deep in meditation because I wasn't feeling anything at all. And I had a little voice come to me. It sounded like Walter Brennan or somebody, just this little voice that said, there's a lot of healing needs to be done out there. And I thought, what? A lot of healing that needs to be done out there. Okay. I will pay attention to all of these people who need healing from me, and I'll be ready to give them healing. And I was looking around at all these people, and I'll be darned if every one of those characters didn't exhibit something that wasn't perfect. And I would immediately attach this to them, just like I voted sticker. Wham! Stick it right on them, and I'd say, okay, you're my project for today or for the week or whatever it might be. Finally, I woke up from this dream world I had created in this meditation. And it's true, that's what I heard in the meditation. And I realized that voice was speaking, it was my still small voice speaking to me and saying, Terry, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done out there in the outer, and the way you exhibit life in your life, there is healing that needs to be done. You're the one, not them. It's you. I'm talking about you. When I realized this and started focusing more and more on myself, I started seeing two things. One, as I mentioned in our prayer here, is that the real world, the real existence, the real life is inner. It's a life of spirit. It doesn't really concern much in the outer. I learned this too in a prayer, and it fits right in, or in a prayer that someone was giving one time, and they stated that the soul, the essence of who you are, doesn't see, feel, or recognize anything other than pureness and goodness. It doesn't live in the sense that there is no other for it to live against. It doesn't age. It doesn't hold any type of grudge or any type of special feeling toward anyone of any kind. There are no special feelings. There are no special thoughts. There are no special anything. It's just isness. And once you get to that point and realize that, then there's not really any need to go to great lengths to try to accomplish this healing, except to let go and let it be. Just let go and let God, that old phrase right there. You know, I used to hear these little catchphrases, and I didn't understand necessarily deeply what it meant at all. I couldn't really grasp it. I just heard it and thought, oh yeah, okay, I'll remember that. One day at a time. Yeah, okay, got it. Let go and let God. Okay, thanks. And that's kind of the attitude that I had toward them. It was just very shallow and very, very not meaningful at all to me, because I wasn't really concerned about me. I was concerned about you, all those people out there. You know, in this book called The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, the writer of it, Bill Wilson, tells this story. And he says that for most people who have this addiction in their minds of one kind or another, they think along the terms of, if I could just get all the rest of you to do what I wanted, I'd have a great life. Be a wonderful world if I could just get the rest of you to straighten up. And that's, I think, this is the attitude that many, many people have in life. Another thing I learned from there is there are two types of people in this world. There are the types that use people and love things, and there are the other type that love people and use things. Thought, okay. And I would ask myself, okay, which one are you, Terry? I didn't always like the answer I heard coming back to me, but it was the only answers I had on a sense of wellness and healing. Now, oftentimes when we're thinking about healing, we're thinking about healing in the outer. We think about wellness, and we even call wholeness something where everything is just clicking along and going right for us in our lives. Which brings us back to that. If I could just get the rest of you to do what I want, then I'd be whole, I'd be well. And not understanding that if I could just learn to apply these lessons that I'm learning on a daily basis in my own life, then I will start approaching wholeness and wellness. When I think too about my life growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, there was a team there, a baseball team, called the Oklahoma Indians at that time. Well, of course, I mean, what else are you going to call them if you're from Oklahoma in those days? And And so some friends and I would get somebody to, usually some older kid, to drive us to the baseball diamond. And of course, the baseball field, it was a commercial enterprise. And so they had fences up all around the edges and a ticket box at the front. Well, we didn't have any tickets, but if you got up close enough to the fence, you could find, and it was a board fence, you could find a blemish where once there had been maybe a pine knot in place that was no longer there. And we belonged to a group that was called the Knothole Gang. And the idea was you'd find one of these knotholes and you'd look through it and you'd get a partial view of the field. And you had to turn from side to side to be able to see third base and first base and the outfield and the batter and the pitcher. And you had to take turns with your friends unless they could find their own knothole. Well, if you're looking through a knothole like that at life, you can't see the full picture. You can't see it all at once. You have to keep adjusting and moving around, trying to see it and trying to envision what's going on, because you haven't done the work necessary to own a ticket and have a seat inside the stadium. You just haven't gotten there. And taking that idea of this baseball and kid thing into our own lives, that happens many, many times for all of us. In different situations in life, we don't see the entire picture. We don't see the picture because we aren't willing to do the work to get in a position to see the picture or be a part of the picture. In this case, we don't get inside. Same as with the baseball field. We don't get inside. We don't do the work it takes to get the ticket or the admission price to get inside. Now, who are we paying this admission price to? Some God inside a ticket box that tells us, or an angel that tells us, yeah, you can go in, no, you can't. Just like that whole story about St. Peter at the Golden Gates. We just, well, I've looked over your list of do's and don'ts in your life, and you can go in. And I'm sorry, no, go out. What a story that is. And that's very much like this one that I'm telling about the baseball diamond. It's not about all these actions and so forth in the outer. It's not about how we are treating others or others are treating us or our position in that. That's not how we get this ticket. That's not how we get inside. The way we get inside is by going inside. Just going inside. Because you were born with the ticket to get inside. You can see the entire game from a comfortable seat if you're willing to remember. And that's all the work is. Remember. Learn it, accept it, and remember it of how you go about getting inside your own self, into that inner world, into that bigger game, the one that really counts, the one that is the most fun, the one that is most relaxing, the one that really helps us get joy out of life. Going in, sitting down, becoming comfortable, and being there as an observer of your own inner life. Walter Brennan, once again, there's a lot of healing that needs to being done in here. Once again, reminding me, yeah, there's a lot of healing out there. That's theirs to do. Yours to do is within you. Come on inside. Come on inside and be a part, be a spectator of the own game of life that you help create through your thoughts, actions, and deeds. The best way to get there is through prayer and meditation. And you too will hear that voice, whatever it might be, a Midwestern accent, a Indian accent, a Israeli accent, a German accent, an American accent, Italian, whatever your background is, the voice that you hear will be the voice that you need to hear in order to do that wholeness and healing. Wholeness is very important. Wholeness is achieved by accepting all that is, good, bad, or indifferent. Accepting all that is. That's the most important thing for each one of us. If we accept all this and we obtain our ticket to get inside and view it all from a comfortable seat, seeing all the different bases and all the different pictures and all the different things inside us that is necessary, then we won't have to be seeing this limited view by looking through a not whole, because we are whole. God bless every one of you.